grab a little bit more of our brown matter here. And apparently this has to be water, so that should be interesting. Not quite sure how we're going to deal with that. We'll have to figure out something. Oh, let me see. Yeah, let's get some purple out here. And let's just get some purple out there too. Okay, this goes all the way out to here. Interesting. It goes out further than I expected. Now, I actually haven't used hardly any of the thinner in here. We're using less and less and less of that stuff. I know if you watch earlier videos, we use a whole lot more. We use way fewer colors, but things evolve. Because I know that came up as a question last night. Is do you always use this color for the pre-glaze? And I said, that all now depends entirely on the miniature. It could be something very, very different. All right, we've got our little initial blast right there. Let's do some. Oh, it's this angry hand visited a friend, and one of the cats noticed that I was there. And then they were suddenly buddies for life. Sort of like the Witch King and Melvin, who just are bestest buddies now. They're pals. That's why they have their own TV show together. Oh, hey, Inner Excellence, how you doing? So this is from Stormsunder, so I try to keep the logos over here. So we've got Stormsunder, that logo there. We also have another one that's already in progress. We're going to try and finish that one off. So this guy right here, we're going to see if we can also finish him off, and most likely do some glazes on it, give him some lights, because most people never really see what happens when you paint over a dried figure. Oh yeah, Gurney, and the key to this is to use those staining colors, right? The Egyptian violet, even Fanchon red has a little bit of a staining property to it. Also, the order of them sort of help. Now let's clean this baby off here. Let's clean this off, well, just a little bit here. And perhaps let's do something a little different. We have not really used much of the cobalt blue. We'll just throw some of that over there. So Angry Ham, I'm guessing you probably haven't seen the Ossiarchs here. And with this, just scraping that's wiping the paint off, even before any kind of highlights or blending was added, there was a lot of people that said, yeah, I could have lived with that just being done. That would have been it. That's all I would have needed. Now we are going to take here some of our phthalo green and some of our cobalt blue. We might throw a little bit of something else in there for blue. But consider this also part of the pre-glaze. So when people say, hey, should I get cobalt turquoise? I say, well, that's awful darn pricey. If you got cobalt blue and you got phthalo green, that's one way to save yourself a wee spot of coin for sure. Just get this shoved down in here now. So yeah, these are, I didn't realize these were 3D printed because at the time I didn't have the 3D printer yet. And I had never actually gotten a 3D printed miniature before, so I just didn't know how to recognize them. Now, of course, I can just smell them miles away. But it's all live and learn. Now we'll maybe even try to make some of these waves a little bit on the transparent side here once we get down into it. But all right, there's our wave action. Oh, hey Sergey, welcome back. Is Sarge in here too? Oh yeah, Inner Excellence, just trying to kind of get through October here, and then we'll just try to get through November. Actually, kind of trying to set things up so that with November, maybe December and January, there's just some new interesting possibilities, that's for sure. Let's see, it's a Ukrainian company, and it makes miniatures, confrontation style, still like the confrontation miniatures. So, okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to check out the rest of their miniatures as we welcome in Velfera too. Well, yeah, Inner Excellence, anything that's going to be staying, like the Phthalo Green, the Egyptian Violet, Phthalo Blue, even like alizarin Crimson, that sort of thing, Indigo Blue, those are all going to have that. Now, the vast majority of oil paints are actually transparent. So how you doing there, Velfera? Now, it says yeah, that turquoise is a mixture of the Phthalo Green and Phthalo Blue. Yes, well, that's what we just did right here for sure. Yeah, Angry Hand, that's what we keep kind of mentioning. That all it is, for some folks, they would be perfectly happy with just wiping away a couple highlights, boom, done. Now, this is the other thing here. This is something we've been talking about for a few days. So our beloved moderator sent these off here. Where's the one? So this is there's a 12 actually. Where's that 12? So we're wondering just how close these are to the one true brush. Are these cousins? Are these siblings, cousins, whatever? Because we also have a couple here that are smaller. Now there's some other brushes. These are, well, I'm sure these are these are supposed to be sable here. We'll see what these things can do. You know me and sables. I tend to say, yeah, right, whatever. You'll last 5 seconds, you'll cry for mercy, and you're never to be seen again. Oh, let me see. I think we're sort of caught up there. Now let's just give this one a shot. So this is the 3. Now let's go to the 1. Let's go directly to the 1. Might need to throw some Fanchon red or Capone red out here. No, it's Felonious red. It's Capone green. We already have Capone green out on the palette. What the heck? Let's not shortchange the Capone green. All right, what's going to happen with this here brush? Now, I might have to snip off some bristles. That is not unusual. So it looks like these prefer to be in this shape. They don't necessarily like to be expanded upon. Let's see how soft. Oh, it's kind of breaking up a little bit here. So it doesn't necessarily hold together. Now, of course, this is the smaller one. And that was the case with that other brand. The smaller brushes did act differently than the big ones. Now, it does like to be in a point. And I may at a certain point, I might have to snip off a few extra hairs, bristles, whatever. But it's reasonably soft. We're experimenting with a new set of brushes here just to see what the heck happens. You don't know unless you give them a try. And I think you can see, and again, that reference over there, that is what we're looking at. We'll get a little bit of our Fanchon red over here. Do we need more on the... let's get just a bit more on some of the tentacles here. Now, since it prefers kind of to be in that pointy shape, we'll see how well it works in this function here as a semi-mixing brush. Now, also, too, these things, when they get worn down, they do change. Oh, hey, Sarge. Oh, you got the Geep game. Oh, man, that's, you got some neat stuff then. You got yourself some really cool stuff. Oh, so the octopus is wearing an octopus. Okay. All right, that. Now some of this makes a little more sense here. So octopus wearing an octopus. I think we can turn up our brightness a touch more there. We'll work in a little bit more of our Fanchon green. Now we got, is this the 1? This is the 1. So this is the smallest one in that set. Yeah, Sarge, the Geek Gaming stuff, there's a lot of neat little things in there. They have some really wild stuff. Oh, hey, Mo's Magic, how are you doing? So, Valfera, these were from Dick Blick. We're thinking that they might act a little bit like the ones that we use, the one true brush, but these are some different sizes. There's an 8, but there's also 12s. I do believe there's also a 10. You got a 1, a 3, maybe a 6. I've already kind of forgotten. Let's see. Yeah, Angry Ham, I have a couple of other ones somewhere here. Let me see if I can dig these out. Nope, that's not one of them. Ah, here we go. So 1 second here. They sent me these, and I think these are production ones, clearly not 3D prints. So, well, actually there's two. This is two of the same sculpt. There is another sculpt, but this is one of the other ones that they sent here. So we might do something with this. Obviously, some kind of golds or something along the lines. So that could be fun. But these are definitely, they won't be missing arms because they are pretty, I'm sure they're pretty indestructible. Oh, let's see, you got the tall shrubs, the tree canopy. Yeah, you know that tree canopy stuff, it can be a little tricky to work with, but I've used it a couple of times and that does some really neat things. You know what, let's get a little bit of that red out to here. So that's a little bit of our fanchon red. And you can see how it stains the brush there. So Mose, I hope everything is going good. Let's get a bit, maybe a little bit of our cadmium scarlet in there. Let's see what happens with that. So it's sort of staying it. I might have to cut off some of the hairs on the end here, but that pretty much happens with all the number 8 rounds too, so that's not a big surprise. Would not be a big surprise. Also have to figure out, you know, yeah, maybe let's do this, the webbing here on the hands. Let's just give them this. It'd be easy enough to make a change if we feel the need. Yeah, so Parm, it's I think it was $18 for 30 brushes. So yeah, that's not too shabby. Now we'll keep trying them out here tonight as we can. See what kind of durability they have, that sort of thing. They seem reasonably soft. Let's get a little bit of our red onto the octopus that he's apparently wearing. So, octopus wearing an octopus. Who would have thought? Yeah, actually, we're using that reference off on the left right there. And actually, speaking of Mears miniatures, if you check out the blog, you can see a gigantic octopus man painted in this color scheme. He's gigantic. The base of him is the size of a DVD. The anchor that he is carrying in one of his tentacles is as large as basically an ogre or something like that. It's huge. So go check that thing out. That is on the blog. It's in the Mears Miniatures section. Because, well, Mears Miniatures, the one thing they do is specialize in a whole lot of crazy big guys. And I mean a whole lot of crazy big guys. Now we'll just clean out this guy here and see what we have. Gonna go another area here. Now I'm thinking up in here, you've got that kind of dramatic orangey color, so maybe we do a little bit of that in here. perhaps even with this little octopus guy right here. No, maybe not quite that much. Now we got Kathy in the house. Oh, geez, Sarge, yeah, these are definitely meant for acrylic. Just like the One True brush, we use it for everything. We use it for weathering powders, use it for all of them. And actually, it says on the package, I mean, they're just brushes, so I'm sure that you'll be able to use them for both. Definitely, without a doubt. Oh, let's go with our, so we got a little bit of our cadmium yellow here. So it does keep itself a decent point there. So I know that's not too shabby for, well, what we say, a 50, 60-cent brush, something like that. I mean, is it going to be absolutely perfecto? Well, probably not. But then you look at its cost, then that's pretty darn good. I mean, we're still able to do some reasonably fine things here. Now these brushes, the bristles do move around a little bit, so it's not quite like a quadruple zero round. Actually, I got some of those coming. Hopefully those arrive soon, because our quadruple zero rounds are, well, we've gone through those faster than I thought we did. Now, hey, K-Sauce, how are you doing? Just get a little bit of this into here. So I might just, for the heck of it, and this is pretty much something I have to do with every single one of the One True brushes, is just take off some extra hair at the start. You basically have to work that brush to reveal any extra hairs in it, so I think that might have done it. So yeah, this is the small one here. This is the size 1. Oh, let's see. Doing good. Just finished a competition piece. Hope I win beginner tier. So what was your competition piece of there? Yeah, well, wishing you luck as well, of course. Here, let's get some more of our yellowy orange here. Do we have any more of these on the back? Oh, yep, there's some right here. Oh, let's work in some of this orangey red over here. Now that might supposed to be some kind of armor that he is wearing, so we might work our way maybe a little bit of almost some gold-ish type colors in there. So here's some umber. We almost created like a raw sienna right there. So let's just call that, instead of that being part of his body, let's just have that be, well, armor. So we'll make a change here. Always got to be willing to make changes. Let's see. So willow, green ivy, witch from Reaper. Well, I wish you all the luck there. We do have a couple of Reaper figures out here, which if I don't get to them, we'll probably hit those maybe on Monday. But these, well, trying to get these 4 Stormsunder here, so want to have these and hopefully have them be dry. Now, we actually haven't had a chance to use any of the off-white yet here, so we'll see what effect that's going to have here. Let's get a little bit of that. Let's start using it. It does seem to make things dry faster, some of the stuff that we painted last night is completely bone dry. Let me see. Anything else? Nope, we are all good. Now this too, I might get some of our wave colors in there as well. Now let's get some of the paint out of this brush here. Let's see what we could do with his head over here. And we'll take this and we'll keep this kind of simple here. We got all that purple sitting there. This is why we do the pre-glaze. This is why we do that pre-glaze, because look at what's happening there. See how that, all of a sudden, it just kind of stains it into that color? This is why that pre-glaze has become more and more and more important. That has become such an important element in the painting process here, making things go even faster. And at this point, we just are going to abandon any semblance of... Not that I did really zenithal prime it at all, but what little there was that would happen on accident, well, that's going away even more. Because there's just no point to it. Not with the oils. It's just wasted effort, wasted primer. You're way better off letting this do the priming for you. I mean, just get primer on there so it has something to stick to, but other than that, forget it. You will not be seeing anything besides just one color primer pretty much here. Now, if they're older figures that have already been primed, well, okay, that's different. But anything that's new, for the most part, you're just going to see one color of primer on it. Might not always be the same color, it just really might depend what's sitting in front of me. Yeah, so now this, it's interesting that the shape that is creating as we sort of flatten it out, but it can still be flattened out. And this is that new set of brushes right here. Oh, there it is. So this was sent to us here by one of our wonderful patrons slash frequent chatters in the chat. And this is the Gamlen Fast White Titanium White. Now, I tried the Quick Dry Titanium White from Gamlen, and that was just useless. It did nothing. This, however, I mean, this is bone dry right here. There's a lot of stuff, because we obviously used a bunch of that white in all facets of this thing. I tried to incorporate as much of that white as I could, just intentionally, to see what would happen. And it does seem to make things dry faster. As far as matte, that I haven't really seen any difference there. But we are seeing a difference in how fast it dries. No doubt about that. Now, all paints are going to dry at different speeds or ratios or speeds, whatever anyways. But, yeah, let's try a little bit more of our white here. We'll lighten up some more things on this crazy octopus do thingy. Whatever the heck he is. I'm going to change this up to a bit of our yellow, off-white yellow here. Who knows, might even do some verdigris on this, maybe. That could be it, verdigris. Yeah, well, maybe we'll do some verdigris on this crazy armor, which I'm just guessing it's armor. Yeah, Velfera, you never really know with some of these different oil paints, like with Gamlen, their silver is fantastic. All of their other metal paints are just complete uselessness. So you never really know what you're going to get. You almost have to just try it and hope. Which, that's why I try to test all these things before you guys try and test them yourselves, so that you don't have to be as disappointed as I have a few times in something that I thought was going to work this way, and it did not work that way in any way, shape, or form. So I can see we're starting to get those lighter little sucker things going on here. And there's some There's some back here too. So this is his little octopus pet right here, I assume. We'll just get him some more. Right, so yeah, got all these. Look at all these color changes that are happening here. I mean, have we really had to work very hard on this thing? No. It's all just happening by itself. Look at how it's mixing with all these other colors right here. Well, let's see. Interexo says they claim it's half the drying time on the average for each of those colors. All right, Brushcraft, we're just getting started here. We are just getting started, so we'll be doing this for a wee while yet. Let's see, they also have fast matte cadmiums, and since those take forever, I'm tempted to pick those up too. Yeah, Moe's, it's always like that. There's definitely some that dry a little bit faster. So Al, you'll have to remind me of that. It's interesting. Well, let's see. Sometimes, I think because the cadmiums are always being cut with something else, they don't take too hideously long to dry. Now, how about price-wise? Are they twice as expensive as a typical cadmium, which is twice as, well, 3 times or 4 times as expensive as a regular paint? I guess that's the next question. Let's see, but I know they're both alkyds. Okay. Which is interesting. Oh, wait a second. Now I have... I don't know if I can... So, now do you think it... Because I got this stuff a while back, and I'm just wondering if... and it is... Well, it shows its opaqueness there. So I suppose I should make myself a bottle of this and see how similar it is to your fast matte white. Winsor Newton have Gamlet and alkyd oils, and they tend to be cheaper than the standard. Yeah, well, I think I wrote Inner Excellence. Did you see that one that I just popped out there on the screen? I kind of forgot I had that one. So I think before I get the Gamma one, I will try to make a container of that alkyd there and see just what that's going to do. So see, now we're getting ourselves a little bit of our yellows in here. Now, let's try this one. Is this the 3? So this is the 3 over here. And for funsies, we're just gonna... We'll take our fast drying white here. Put some of it over here. I really do wish I had it for the spooky ghosts. That would have been fun, especially since white was our starting color. Now that was something I was thinking for this guy over here, to maybe have him start out as white and then throw the darker stuff over the top of him and test out the fast matte white that way. So let's see what happens here. Yeah. Yeah, this is the number 3, and this is Royal and Lang Nickel. So this was that targeted pre-glaze. Remember, we were very targeted with this pre-glaze, and I think it's yielding some good results for us. I know that is different. That approach is different from what you have seen in the past, but, well, when have we kept doing the same thing? The Griffin brand is the same as Fast Matte. I wonder, well, let's see. Maybe there's, well, I don't have your label, but... Now, of course, the alkyds here, they're going to be a little bit more... There's a little more to them than just, say, a regular titanium white, so just something to be aware of. I mean, unless you're planning on eating your oil paints, that really is not that big of a deal. But remember, we do want to have some purple here in our waves. That's why we did the waves last. in our pre-glaze phase, because I was hoping to get a little bit of this purplish color to mix into those. Why? Because these are supposed to be at least vaguely translucent. They should show some of our octopus dude behind there. Is there a Drax in the house? Drax, this is Stormsunder. So see this little logo right here? I've done a few other Stormsunder figures. Ooh, I think you might have seen this one. I've got a couple other ones somewhere. I forget where I've got them. But this was also a Stormsunder. You might have seen me painting this. Now, where the heck is there? There's another one here somewhere. Where did she go? Let me see if I can hunt that down for you. No dice. It's around somewhere. But yeah, and this is also another Stormsunder, and then that one Egyptian guy, which here, let me see if I can find him. Now, unfortunately, they sent me 3D prints. I didn't know they were 3D prints, and he was sadly missing an arm. Let me see if I can find him somewhere. Where the heck did he go? That's not him over there. That's not him over there. Where is he? Maybe he's in here. Nope, I don't know where he's at. But that was another Stormsunder figure that I really liked. I really liked that one. Unfortunately, he was missing an arm, so that's why you've never seen the pictures of him. Oh, they did send me some new ones. There we go. Now, these are their actual production ones, so obviously not a 3D print. And they definitely have that sort of a kind of a plastic gaming piece feel to them, because it is a board game after all. And we'll try and look. We got a couple of these. We might try and paint them in some very different color schemes. Look at this. And Drax, these are those new brushes we were talking about as well. So these came from Dick Blick, our beloved moderator, sent these off. 6 sizes, 5 of each. One of them is an 8, which is slightly larger than the number 8 round. Ooh, let's get a little mix of our berry white green and some phthalo here. And let's just make this a bit more turquoise, shall we? Just a bit more turquoise. And it's mixing with what's already there. Oh, look at this. See the 1 didn't form right away into a filbert shape, but this one certainly did. I think we got ourselves a winner in these brushes here. Let me see. You'll find a bit on YouTube. Check the company sites. That bird was rather disturbing. It is a crazy... Where'd he go? It's like a undead vulture of some kind, because he's got he's like part skelly, part muscle, and then he's munching on this guy here, who's also part muscle and skelly and that sort of thing. Now, Angry Ham, that's what I was thinking of doing. You know, the good angel, bad angel, something like that. Maybe paint this one up, obviously, in your typical kind of whites and blues and golds, and then the other one, and well, actually, I don't know, in some ways, almost more like this guy. So who knows? Maybe Thursday that could be fun, because Monday I was hoping to do some Reaper things on Monday. If we don't get to them tonight, if we get to the Reaper ones tonight, then maybe we'll do that. Oh gosh, what would you say? What would you call that good angel, bad angel type thing for Monday? Unless there's a commission thing that I've got to take care of first, but hopefully we don't have to do something like that. They're both elk kids. We're just making sure they weren't saying the same, because I haven't seen heard that. Yeah, now actually, also, geez, so Drax, do you know anything about the difference between the Gamlin and say their fast mats and the elk kids there? Because you have way more knowledge of the Gamlin line than I do. Mine is just It's very minor in comparison. Oh, this is water too. Okay, let's go back to our... This is a little bit of our cobalt blue here. Hopefully you can see that. So these brushes right here, I'd have to say these are a winning product at 60 cents a brush, did we say? And you can add Alkyd's medium, but it adds gloss. I've only used Gamsol. I've got, where the heck did I have a jar of liquid here. Where the heck did it go? Oh, I don't know where that is, but I do actually have a jar of liquid somewhere here. Oh, I think it's, it migrated away once I saw the quadfecta of doom on it. Look at this. So much fun. So these brushes right here, I don't know, does it even say Royal and Langley on the box? Oh yeah, it does. A Royal Lang Nickel. There you go. And again, there's a bunch of sizes. We got 12s in here. There's 10, 12, 10, 8, 6, 3, and 1. And we've used the 1 already. We're using the 3 right now. Yeah, Al, I was all excited about the liquid because actually, well, way back in art school days, a friend of mine, he did liquid with all of his oils, but because he was painting oils like watercolors, and it was really neat to see what looked like a watercolor, but it was actually an oil. But it definitely did the yellow thing, and it definitely had a fragrance to it for sure, and it was glossy. Oh my gosh, was it glossy? It was super glossy. But this fast matte white, it definitely it can do some stuff, that's for sure. I'm loving this filbert shape. So we have a mini filbert. We have a mini filbert at last. Roughly about half the size of the 8. Now the 8s in this pack are larger than the typical 8s that you're going to see in the one true brush, but it's from Dick Blick, so you don't have to just rely on Hobby Lobby since we seem to be wiping out their supply. Of course, what that means, we're going to wipe out the Dick Blick supply too, because that seems to be what we do. But I've got to get myself another set of those just as a backup, because I think we are on to something here. And this is pretty fun here. But I wasn't so sure about this guy. I've had him around for a while. I've been waiting on concept art for this. Never got the concept art, so I just said, okay, no concept art. You get whatever you get then. You know what? I'm gonna throw a little bit of this, just a scotch of that cadmium yellow light in there. Well, that's faux cadmium yellow light, because I'd like to get this to be a touch more greenish. That's it. There we go. I'm looking to get that variety of the greens and the blues, seafoam kind of thing going on there. Letting that, gee, that should probably be a little bit more bluish. Let's just get some of our cobalt blue here. A little touch of that white. As I look at the back, can't get too much away from that purple there, because I want it to essentially reflect some of the things that are going on there, or at least be somewhat transparent. Oh, hey, Lady B, how are you doing? That same company makes another set of 6 brushes, all filbert style? You're kidding me. Oh, everything gets hit by a matte coat at the end. Oh, that must be Drax up at the top saying, oh, Inner Excellence, okay. Now, let's take a look at this. I mean, we got some dramatic colors here. Let's see what we got shading-wise. Look at that. So, how long did it take here to establish plenty of lights and darks? But now you don't see that bright red, not so bright red. The blue in the water, the turquoise, not so turquoise anymore. We bring that color back like you do. Look at the difference. So the values there, but what we talk about, color transition, value transition, intensity transition. Now here, well, we actually might even do some edge transition there as well because, well, ooh, all right, let's try. Let's see if these two guys are as useless as I expect them to be. So these are, I'm sure these are supposed to be way more than 60 cents a brush. Oof. Yeah, I think we'll take a pass. Why are there two gigantic bristles sticking out here? That's a mess. That's going right. Okay, nope, sorry. That is unusable. So what just happened right there? That is 99% of all my brush reviews right there. So for this to say, oh, this is a keeper at 60 cents a brush, that sends you a signal that the vast majority of those expensive brushes, well, we won't use the word that I would like to use to describe them here, but they're less than adequate. Hey, Jara, how are you doing? Oh, was that, let's see. Well, actually, Lady B, I'm sure that there's a glue that would just love those brushes. Actually, you know what? Luke's APS is saying, oh, come on, feed me those brushes. Feed me those brushes. This glue loves brushes. Oh, let's see. I've going on Alexi Press and getting them by the 100 pack. Well, I could say, oh, hey, Jet, how are you doing? So, Jira, was that, oh, whose stream was that? Was that, not Nolin's? Oh, gosh. I know someone has it, well, I don't think it was a specific charity stream. I think she's got, oh, she's taking donations. It's like a stand up to cancer type of thing that she's doing. Oh, it was Zulamandi. She's doing that in her late night streams. So I just want to hit the other side of that. So this right now, this number 3 is proven to be a real favorite right here. See, it does all the things that we would expect. Now there's an actual filbert, but look at this. It's like a long-haired filbert now. It makes it extra soft. Oh, and look at this. No paint in the ferrule because it's a longer hair. Now, of course, and these are not super expensive, these guys, and this has been a trooper. Look at this thing. We've been using this for weeks, hours at a time. This thing has probably seen 50, 60 hours worth of painting right there. And yet, look at that sucker. Oh, and folks, for the folks that haven't seen them here, they've kind of joined a bit later. I do have a couple of pictures of Melvin and the Witch King and Oscar, the Gondor warrior there. So there's a couple of pictures. I will be making some more, but I just wanted to have a couple of pictures for you because, well, it's a little hazardous wheeling him out to show him. So yeah, we'll have to do that for a while because the camera is obviously set for close work here, not for gigantic fell beasts. Sorry, Melvin. Now I am going to get some lighter stuff on these suckers here. Actually, this is kind of ironic because it's reminding me of Kathy's Cthulhu guy that she is painting right now. And all the little crazy sucker things on him. And then, oh gosh, it was that big monster. It was that crazy Kickstarter with all those half and half sea creature things. And she was painting suckers for days, it seemed. I'm sure for her it felt like years. Just literally painting a bunch of suckers. And not the fun kind that you can eat. They weren't ring pops either. Let me see. So some of my favorite pointy brushes. yeah, that is, it's very disappointing that the, shall we say, cheaper brushes are the most reliable, most durable. That's just kind of a sad state of affairs that the expensive brushes, you just can't rely on those in any way, shape, or form. And I guess for me, if a brush cannot handle the punishment, it's just pretty much useless. Yeah, I took that thing, I don't even think I put it in any water. So where did that thing go? Or did I put it in some water here? So let's see what happens. Yeah. Somehow I don't think an expensive brush should have a look at that. Oh, you can see that? Look at that one hair. It's sticking out almost like an eighth of an inch beyond the brush. This is, yeah, that's not so hot. So I get to deliver more bad news. This makes me happy. At least when it comes to brushes. There's nothing more I like to deliver. Oh man, I got some bad news for you. I got some bad news for you. Those brushes that you're all excited about, it works great with glue. They are fantastic. It's like the most amazing glue brush ever. Like, what do you mean? I said, yeah, here's a picture of what it looked like. I'm sure they're fixing the charge somewhere between $8 to $15 for one of those. I wouldn't pay 50 cents for one. I'd pay 50 cents for this. Oh wait, that's all they cost. Oh yeah, I think this is going to be almost like the eyeballs and teeth monster, because every time I turn around, there's another sucker somewhere. Boy, there is a sucker born every minute on this guy. Yeah, we're sticking with the picture over there on the left-hand side, since I've actually already painted a very gigantic octopus man in this color scheme. So again, just go to the Mierce Miniatures section of the blog, and he's one of the, he's not one of the first Mierce Miniatures things that I painted, but he's towards the beginning. So you'd have to look further, you'd have to go further in depth to the Mierce stuff to find him. Now, I haven't really posted I haven't posted anything to the blog in quite a while, because that became sort of pointless. Especially once I started doing the YouTube stuff and then Twitch, the blog just became, and Instagram. Instagram is basically the new blog. Alright, suckers over here. Suckers to the left, suckers to the right. Are there any? Oh, there's more down in here. And because minimal amounts of paint, we can still get in there just fine and reach those. Now, this is about $2.50, 60 cents, something like that. Oh yeah, Lady B, that was actually, I still have to get pictures of that for the page here, because we have the second King of Malefica, but we don't have the first one. So we're gonna have to try and get ourselves some pictures of that up here as well. Oh yeah, direct. This is for Stormsunder. Apparently they have a bunch of different, I don't know if it's a bunch of different factions for one game. I think they have a second game. Maybe this was their first one, and then they've got a second one that's out. But I have actually done a couple of live streams. Oh, and like I said, we're going to try and finish off this guy too. So another Stormsunder figure there. I just wanted to power through these couple of guys here. And from there, we are going to move on to something fun for me. I completely forgot I had this guy prepped, so then I put him on a base, and I've been dying to do something with him for a little while. I thought maybe I could play some more with the interference blue on him. Maybe we try the other color too, the iridescent. See what the heck happens. I mean, if we don't like it, we take a sponge and we rub the whole darn thing off, and we're right back to primed miniature again. No problems. Oh, let me see. One might say it had eyes for details. Yes, it did. It's that thing was, it kept an eye on its diet, that's for sure, because wherever there was teeth, there was an eye. It must have been a very vengeful creature, because it didn't just give you an eye for an eye, it gave you like 1,000 eyes for one eye. Now, this might be interesting if the eyes are some kind of greenish color or turquoise or something like that. So I'm just going to make them a little bit bigger so that I can sort of hit them with a glaze of something here. So we'll make those a little larger. And then go back in, fill those with a glaze. Yeah, works event, he knows. Ah, see, he shows that you got to show that true loyalty to Mordor or just to eyeballs. Oh, that's right, we did do the Eye of Sauron on the other one, didn't we? On his book, that's right. That thing, you want some teeth and eyes right there? Just paint one of those. Paint one of those. You'll never want to see teeth or eyes again. Ever. You'll love it. Give it a try. Oh, Inner Excellence, is that the one? Which one is that? Is that the one that's kind of sitting on that little throne? Sort of in a... almost has kind of a bit of a Hindu goddess or something like that look to it. Is that one? Because I don't think we have that one here. Yeah, we don't have that one, I don't think. I'm gonna look to make sure, but I don't think we have that here. I'll have to ask him and say, hey. Oh, geez. Well, speaking of more suckers, look what we're finding. More suckers. There literally is a sucker born every minute here. Some of these guys are pretty small. What we're going to do is we'll hit them like this, and then we'll pop them with a wee bit of a glaze over the top later. So yeah, that's it's been interesting working on this guy for sure. We will see if we want to do that verdigris stuff or not. It could be interesting. It'd be a way to tie in this color up here, because again, if a color goes somewhere, it must go everywhere. Ah, okay, so then we need a couple of those. Well, that saves me a whole bunch of time. I have put the queen in my shopping cart. Inner Excellent, that's the one I'm thinking of, right? It's the one that's got, it's kind of sitting on that little bit of an altar there or whatever, or a palanquin or something like that. Because ironically enough, I just don't remember what the names of any creature caster figures are. Well, that's pretty much the way it goes with every single company. Well, there's a part of me that doesn't care. I really don't care what the heck they call it, because to me, it's just a name. Do I need to... there's more suckers over here. You wouldn't want to know some of the names that I had to make up for figures that I had to paint for Cool Mini or not back in the day. We're going to take some of our purple over here. And we'll make a little different purple out of this here. That is just a fun reddish purple right there. And we'll get a little bit of this onto his, well, I don't know if you could say muscles. It's almost like more of a carapace here. So kind of like a bit of a carapace there. I think you can see we're almost getting a little bit of a reverse light on that. And that's going to go here. Ah, that is much better out there. Okay. And let's see what we can do here on, well, whatever this surface is supposed to be. Because obviously miniature companies, they are very, very, very focused on their own product, as they should be. So when it comes to people like us, they just assume that we know all the stuff that they know, that they do, that they live every single day. And we say, we don't know. We have no idea. We aren't in your production meetings. We have no idea what any of this stuff is. Could you at least send us a picture of what it's supposed to look like? Because we'll just get a box of parts. And we said, well, that's cute. That's a nice box of parts. What's that supposed to be? What is that? And that's not like hyperbole. That's pretty much everyday reality. Is boxes just show up and there's stuff in there. And I said, could someone tell me what this is? Because I have no idea what any of this is supposed to be. I only care because Malefica is Creature Caster's name for Tzeentch, which, of course, as we know, is the bestest of the chaos. Tzeentchy, Tzeentchy, Tzeentchy. Yes, that's why we did eyeballs, baby. Tzeentch. Why do you think the Tomb Kings were tainted by Tzeentch and not by one of those minor, lesser, insignificant chaos gods like all the other ones? Getting a little bit of purple into here. Same over on his carapace abs, I suppose. Hey, sky's clear. How are you doing? Yeah, we're messing around with some new brushes here. Sky's clear. Now these are essentially, think of the number 8 round. Right, your typical one true brush here. This is basically just the same thing in several sizes, some smaller, some bigger. Now, I did get one of those. Oh gosh, and Brushcraft left, so he can't tell me which one. Oh, Master's Touch. So we had gotten these a while back when I was desperate, when Hobby Lobby was out of the number 8 rounds. But these are Royal Langnickel. And 6 sizes, 5 of each, goes all the way up from a 12 all the way down to a 1. We've been trying the 1 and the 3 so far, and they've been really handy, doing some great work for us. Yes, these are actually holding up to the normal torture testing that we would expect something to. We've already had. There was another brush that another company had sent, and it never even got paint on it because I took it out of the package and I went, nope, and just put it right back in there because, oh man, that was pretty terrible. I just said, and I know this is not something that they're going to be charging 60 cents for. I said, as soon as I saw that, I said, if you're going to be charging anything above 25 cents for that, that is a deal breaker, and I'm sure they're going to want more than 25 cents for it. This I'm going to do. Oh yeah. Let's respect the umber. Oh, it's time to respect the umber. We're like an hour and 15 minutes in. We got to respect the umber. We shall do that here with a wee bit of glazy stuff. happening here. Let's respect that Umber. So if it's 7, oh geez, Svengoolie can't be on already. Unless Kathy's already watching Svengoolie. Having cooled, but not the time skill to implement them.
So say we all. So say we all.
Oh, look at this. We got Don Mack, who's doing the 3-month thing. Thank you. So, ooh, he's just in time, and he's like, whoa. Where did he wash up? Somebody flush that dude. He's out. He wants nothing to do with that. Let's see. I picked up the 30-pack online from Blake. Yeah, Inner Excellence. That's that same pack, right? So, yes, our moderator had tracked that down, and he sent that. It arrived just today. Actually, just this morning. It just arrived. And I opened it up, and I knew I was going to be, well, painting tonight. And I said, well, we'll give them a test. We'll see what happens. And they have already exhibited some really good traits. Now, and I'm sure there's going to be inconsistencies between them. Some of them are maybe not going to be quite as grand, but it's 60 cents a piece. I just finished the 3rd miniature in oils. Do you varnish your seal yours afterwards? I use the exact same stuff that I use for all of our acrylic painted miniatures, and this is fabulous because you just brush it on, right? There's no spraying. Just brush it on. And it's from Army Painter. Actually, it's the only Army Painter thing that we use. Well, I like their basing stuff, but this is the only paint product of theirs that we basically use, is this anti-shine. And it works fantastic because, I mean, take a look at these guys. Now, especially this one, because I did it with burnt sienna, that one was on the shinier side. And you can see there's no shine there whatsoever. Yeah. It kills all the shine, and it seals them real nice, yeah. And the best thing is, it's perfect for acrylics too. And it's not expensive. Oh, Inner Excellence, well, we were making jokes during ReaperCon that I was just going to show up in Galesburg, just saying I want 15% off the top of everything. And then I do believe that's when Trash said, you know, who would have thought somebody from Chicago walking in the door and wanting 15% of everything? That's never happened before. Now this little umber glaze right here is doing some nifty stuff. Oh, liking that. Definitely liking that. Hey, Miss Half Damage, how are you doing? All right, Angry Ham, you go do the pillow thing. Have a pillow fight with your face versus the pillow. Which, yeah, I'm never averse to sticking a face in a pillow and just trying to get some sleep. That's for sure. Now I got me no problems with that. Now we're going to take some indigo here. We're going to take some of our purple. We're going to make something nice and dark here. I do like my AP tone set. The military tone is good for olive green. Yeah, well, oh, strong tones. That is the other thing. Now, I think Kathy has used them much more than I have. I kind of liked them the few times I got a chance to use those. So I think if you were to say, well, you know, pick something of theirs that's paint, which is not anti-shine, that would be my choice, is to go with the strong tone. Because that seemed to do some nice stuff. I forgot all about the strong tones. It's been so darn long since I last had one of those things. So, Miss Half Damage, I hope you are doing well. And we've got some pictures here of the... Well, these are the first couple. There will be more. There will be more. But there is your Witch King on Fell Beast. And if for folks that haven't had a chance to do that yet, take a look-see over at the channel point rewards, because there's something new there. Let's just say that there's something more terrifying in Moria than any Balrog, more fierce than any dwarf, richer than anybody with a mithril vest. Certainly more Chablis, that's for sure. No doubt about that. Ah, okay. Well, geez, I don't know. Maybe we actually, I don't know. Have you been using those at all recently? Because maybe, well, obviously I'll have to get the Reaper clears too. But if you would want some of those, I'll have to, I suppose, snag that. But, well, I don't think Army Painter is about to get rid of those anytime soon. We used to get stuff from Army Painter all the time. I think I'm going to have to get some more. Ah, there we go. That's another one of our little, we're respecting the umber, doing a little bit of a glaze right there, and then we'll just mix it with what's sitting right there. Aha, here we go. So folks, yeah, Balrogs, pff, orcs, yeah, those are cute. Fear the mimes. The mimes of Moria. Jetez-moi, toss me. There is Lutan National right there, Goblin Nation, and right over there that says "We love the mimes." There's a little close-up. Yes, they have baguettes. Yes, they have cheese wheels. They have fleur-de-lis. They have striped shirts. They got mime faces, and there's Charles de Gaulle, the coach. As Parm says, you'll never hear him coming. They will trap you inside invisible boxes. They will trip you with invisible ropes. They might also let you drink some of their fine Chablis. There's Pierre and Francois. Of course, Pierre and Francois, they both have their little cigarettes right there. And of course, they don't do any of this stuff like contact sports. They just drink their Chablis, and every so often they toss a goblin. There's one of our assistant coaches there. There's another one of our fans. Pierre and Francois, baby. There they are. And the mimes of Moria, they averaged about 3 touchdowns a game. They made it to 2 playoff games, which was very fun. And that's, if you want to know what really lurks in Moria, that's what's waiting down there for you. And again, cheese wheels, some baguettes, some Chablis. It's all down there in Moria. Forget Mithril, forget all that other stuff. They had no interest in that. Here, let's get some of these. Well, speaking of dark, let's get some fine darks in here now. We've been doing some middle tones and some lights. Let's try and restore a couple of darks into this here while we're at it. Oh, hey, Bathtub Kraken. Well, look at this. Speaking of which, look at this. Look what we got for you here. It's a Stormsunder miniature. Yep, they have their. I think that was. I think then you said. Well, you suggested having the barrette kind of off to this, a little off kilter at a jaunty angle, and then having the cigarettes hanging out of their mouth off to the side there. So yeah, there's. And they are very disdainful of everyone, for sure. All those dirty dwarves and humans that keep coming into their fine stadium. Yeah, the striped shirts that I actually had to sculpt basically the end of the shirt there and then paint in the stripes. Now, of course, that was the very first converted team that I ever did. So lots of lessons were learned, and all I had were metal figures available. So quite literally, everything was metal. Now, I will be posting more pictures because there's much more of the team than just that. So at a certain point, there'll be more pictures of the mimes of Moria. I mean, because they're the mimes of Moria. Why would there not be more pictures of them? Oh, sky's clear. There's no doubt about that. Holy smokes. Yes. That's why there's a couple of Facebook groups that I don't post to anymore. Because holy smokes. I said, all right, fine, you guys are out then. You are off the painting island. Now, I just made the ends of the fingers a little bit darker so that maybe I could make the Inside's a little bit lighter. So let's go back to Mr. Number 1 round here and just play for a bit here. So that is some of our cadmium yellow. That's a, yeah, this 60-cent brush has a better point on it than that. Well, I'm sure it's going to be significantly more than 60 cents brush. Yeah, that's just kind of sad. Well, actually, it does give me a strange joy. Like I said, there's nothing I like more than delivering bad news about brushes. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those little evil things in me. We have plenty of experience doing it. Barely a couple months go by before someone sends us something like that, and I just say, you might want to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, this is more fun now. A little bit more of a contrast in between these fingers here. Might even let this one get even brighter. Oh, hey, not Jay. How are you doing? Haha. That's right. Geez, you're going live in just a few minutes here. So, folks, at 8 o'clock here, the Rocky's War Room, they're going to be doing one of their live podcasts again. So, be sure to follow Rocky's War Room on Twitch. And we got Cosplaying Kitten, somebody else you got to follow. Now, look, speaking of new brushes, Cosplaying Kitten just got some new brushes. So, folks, definitely give Cosplaying Kitten a follow. Now, what's going to be the first thing that you paint with those new brushes? I guess that is the next question. And happy birthday. Yeah, sorry I missed that yesterday. Facebook is really useless when it comes to birthdays and that sort of thing. It used to be really, really easy, and now it's really, really terrible. So I apologize for missing that yesterday. So we'll make these a little bit brighter. I do like the Fanchon red behind it now. Now, let's get some of that. Let's get some brighter stuff happening up here, too. So again, that's our Fanchon red. A little bit of our cadmium scarlet's mixed in there too. So now, are you going to be trying out your new brushes on the next live stream, or are you just going to do some regular painting, just kind of off-stream painting first? Because we're trying out some new brushes here. They are, they're certainly not any kind of expensive brushes, but they are really doing some nice work, which is always nice. We're going to continue on with our Fanchon red here on, well, whatever this carapace thing is. We also have some of the purple in those shadow areas there. I hope you have a fun podcast there. Now, yeah, if you jump back in afterwards, you'll have to see the mimes of Moria, because I finally remembered to make some pictures of them. So you will find out.
Hello, little hobbits. Spark my ganja.
Thank you so much, Dark Eternal, for the follow. That's appreciated. Gandalf appreciates it too. So yes, the mimes of Moria, they finally have their first images up here on the page. Or on my screens, that is. I'm looking at this here. Are there... so I'm seeing more 3D printing artifacts here. Again, I didn't know about 3D prints back when I first got these. I thought they were production pieces, so yeah, that's another one of those things they should have communicated to me, and they paid a price for not doing that. So, okay, not Jay. Hopefully you are still around, because now be prepared to be terrified, because if you think Balrogs are scary, Yeah, they ain't nothing compared to this. Yes, the mimes of Moria. Jetez-moi, baby. Toss me. And then we have the Nous avons de mimes. There we love the mimes. We love these mimes. This I'm looking at this going, every single one of those goblins there was metal, and I had to just literally hack off arms and parts of heads, and I didn't even have a razor saw then. Uh, Charles de Gaulle, the coach there, he was just a metal 40K miniature. And then these are the old metal trolls. I mean, these are old metal trolls right here. And that's Francois and Pierre. And then over here we got some more. We have the judge right over there. That is Poirot. So number 33 is Poirot. We have one of our assistant coaches. So these two guys here were little grots. Yeah, a couple little grots here. So they had their little pistols in their hands, and then we just, well, obviously we sculpted some fan gear for them. I just loved those mimes, and they did pretty darn well. They were so terrified of the goblin toss that they would spread out their teams so much that it actually allowed me, because I had a couple of goblins with block. Actually, more than one goblin with block, so all of a sudden, the next thing you knew, they were getting mobbed by goblins. And all of a sudden, I was having 2-die blocks, my call, with block. Now we're getting some lighter highlights here on some of our, carapace pieces here. Oh, that's why. Oh, okay. I knew Kathy wanted to paint tonight, but then she kind of closed the door here to soundproof it. I'm thinking, okay, I guess she's going to go paint, but now we know what she's at. Okay, so, oh, she's painting. We know that. Here, let's do a little bit more of that light reflecty stuff here, and I'm going to do some lights over here too. Still not quite sure about the verdigris stuff in this part of the armor. It's kind of the right color for it as far as the setup for some verdigris. Oh, speaking of which, we did do verdigris last night. I'm thinking, wait, didn't I just do verdigris? Yeah, we did it. We did it on here. That's right. Which, of course, was very fun. There's my brush. Now, these are also going to need some lighter touches, but we're going this way here. We're going to take some of our not off-white, our fast dry white, apparently. Let's get some lighter things on the edges of this. Create a little bit of separation, again, like it is a carapace of some kind. That's what it appears to be. We'll get some lighter touches here. Maybe on the back of his hand. This is kind of I don't know if these are really spines. It's almost more fish-like right here. More like a fin on a fish. I'm going to see if I can bring out just a couple of these lines here. And this is my quadruple 0 round. I've got some more of these on the way. We don't need extra little pieces of lint on the brush, though. All right, that's starting to look kind of interesting. We'll have to go back into our waves here. More carapace over here. Not really sure what some of these shapes are. I would have liked to have had some concept art for this guy, but there just wasn't any. Well, I'm sure they had some. They just never sent it to me. We'll bring out some lights on, well, I don't want to call them eyebrows, but I think you know what I mean. Get some more of the carapace highlights on this arm here. And again, it's sort of like that top fin on a fish. So he's got a little octopus, he's got a little fish, he's got a little lobster to him, he's probably got some squid, he's got quite the variation of species here in one crazy little monster dude. And oh, speaking of Trashorama, there he is. So Trash, we got some fun new things here. We got some new brushes here. We're still playing with the fast matte white. But yeah, so we tried a couple. So the 60-cent a piece brushes have been spectacular. Somebody gave me these fancy sable brushes. I took one look at them, put them in some water, and just put them aside. I said, nope, this is useless junk. So yeah, I get to deliver more fun bad news for somebody. Now I didn't open up the other one, but I mean, what's kind of the point? If one of them comes out of the thing with hair all over the place, it's just like, yeah, I'm not even going to bother with the other one. If that one is so bad, why even bother? And the other thing too is, and Kathleen and I, we say this to each other all the time, how stupid do they think we are? Like, we're not going to notice that this thing just came out of the package and it was completely just, there was hairs all over the place? Maybe they do. Maybe that's just it. Oh, let me see. I'll catch you later there, Not Jay. And have a good top 16 for you. Oh yeah, Trash. I didn't realize this was water. I thought this was also tentacles. So I'm painting this, and I went, oh, I think these are waves. So yeah, fortunately, I just kind of realized at the very last second, saw that and went, oh, maybe let's not paint that like tentacles. Let's paint that like waves. And this is actually a color scheme that I did on a huge, see that thing in the corner over there? I did a gigantic Mears miniatures, it's like a giant octopus dude, huge octopus dude, and did that, years ago. I got to get some more Mears miniatures. I've painted probably hundreds of Mears miniatures by now. And I only have just a very few amount of pictures of them. So I'm going to have to get me some more Mears Miniatures pictures. And we're going to go back into that water and we'll hit it again. We're also thinking about doing some verdigris stuff here, maybe on this part of the armor and maybe even up there, just so we can bring that teal color upwards. We're just going to strengthen some parts of this armor here. And this is from Stormsunder. I think it's I don't know if they've done other Kickstarters, but this was, I think, a Kickstarter they did way earlier in the year, or maybe it was late last year. So we're also going to be finishing off this guy too. We'll be punching up some of his brightness. And then we'll get back into our Ossiarchs right here, just because, well, I want to have fun. And we do have some Reaper figures. This might be tomorrow, or not tomorrow, it might be a Monday night thing. So we got a couple of Reaper figures that are also ready to go too. Oh, slicing the Wappelius Spellblade. Now, you did the larger size, right? You did the 72 mil. That's what I gotta get me a 72 version of me, because he would be like, that big, baby. Yeah. At least I think it would be cool having one just of colossal, gigantic size. I think it should be like 10 inches tall. It should be like an action figure. Actually, it should be its own Gundam. That's what it should be. A Wappelius Gundam. That's what I want. Someone's going to have to sculpt that for me. Because that could be interesting to be painting on the stream. Big old Wappelius Gundam figure. I'm just going to pop in a bit of a pin line glaze there. I want to restore some darks into this. And then go back in there later on with some lighter things. Now I'll let that sit there. If I want to do the verdigris stuff in there, I best let that just dry for a bit. Let's mess around over here. Phthalo green. Oh, we might have to put some more cobalt blue out here. But that is kind of looking like a neat little turquoise there. That's a little bit more of a mid-tone. Ah, there we go. We did our pre-glaze, and then we were just sort of taking advantage of that now. Now really starting to dive into here and get some nice color variations. Let's see, that would be cool. Print off a giant Wappelius painting as a bronze statue for the lost continent of Wappel, the Empire of Wappel. Yes. Well, it's more of a galactic empire. At least that was my vision for it. Because somehow the title of President of Everything just seemed a little bit provincial. So I think Galactic Overlord is just a bit more of an appropriate sound to it. A little bit better flavor. The continent of Wapelia, where there's nothing but craft brushes and Sculpey, and everything goes on a diorama base, and there's object source lighting everywhere, also known, I guess, as the sun. Now it's fine. This looks light here. It's actually very dark. I mean, we'll take some of this. We'll put it next to our white. That's not light, but it sure looks light. Everything is all about context. This is why we paint all parts of the miniature at the same time. We're not fooling around with just a little bit here, a little bit there. Oh, look what's happening. We're getting some turquoise on here. Look what's happening. Why? Because, well, we'd like to have a wee bit of reflected light here, reflected color. Let's do another little bit of our turquoise down under here. We'll get some of that turquoise back in here. Oh, let's see. The craft brushes grow on trees and the rivers flow of Sculpey. I think that's yeah, they don't use marble or anything like that. Everything's just made out of Sculpey. Oh, let me see. To think that was just a gray mini before I went to... Oh, hey, Sib. How are you doing? Yeah, we're going to hit a couple of these. Well, I think you saw the ones that we were doing last night. Right, where did you go? Where are some of you guys? Oh, well, that's the... Yeah, there was this one right here. So we did 3 miniatures last night that had no paint on them whatsoever. We did another one of our Warcry figs here. Hey, Sakaya, how are you doing? Welcome back. And, of course, we did this guy last night, too. This is where we were testing out the fluorescent green for the first time. Well, in a while. It had been a long time since we tested out the fluorescent green. Let's see. Trashed as the cut through the vast jungles in danger to the lost city to steal the secrets of the Book of Wappel and the lore of Phthalo. So, hey, Bellin, how are you doing? Good afternoon to you, too. We're going to paint a variety of figures here. Some of these are Stormsunder. We're going to get to a Ossiarch figure in a little bit here too. Oh, what the hell. Let's go over to our phthalo green here. And we'll take some of our cadmium yellow. There's a nice bright green. Well, it's not light, it is bright, it's high saturation. Because I would like to have some green over here. That's better. That has more contrast even though it's darker than what was there. Well, because now you've got that red versus bright green. There's some more. I'm just going to make these a little bit bigger than they need to be so I could maybe put a little bit of a glow in there. Not sure that's going to necessarily work quite that way, but I'm going to try to make it work that way. Now this here is a little bit lighter. Can you see this? I think so. There's a bit of a lighter green. This is basically what, Space Marine, you know, the glowy eyes on a Space Marine. Think of it, we're doing something similar to that. Now I'm just going to go straight over here to this off-white yellow, and I think this has to be very thick for it to stick here. Well, we're going to go the opposite way. Let's thin it down. Let's see what happens. Or we just have to wait. Now, the thinner stuff, sometimes you just got to thin it down. Sometimes you got to make it thicker. Sometimes you just have to give it a little while to set. I know people would prefer things to be laws of absolutes, but unfortunately, with painting, there's really not many laws of absolutes. Let's see. So how are you doing there, Sakaya? I hope everything is going well. Let's see. Bellin started a few days ago with the oils. Can't get the blends right, but enjoying. Bellin, definitely give yourself you definitely want to give yourself some slack, I guess is the expression there. Because I just keep learning new things every time I use the oils. And you'll learn new stuff each time you touch those. Like what we did here with the pre-glaze on this 3 weeks ago, I would not have approached it this way, and it would have taken more time. It just would have been less efficient. So I learn stuff every time I touch these things, but I hope that actually it kind of feels good to know that, well, yeah, every time you touch those things, there will be some new fun thing that you find. I know some folks would just like to know it all at once.
My ganja.
Well, hey there, JX, how are you doing? Or Jixco, thank you so much for that follow. Gandalf appreciates it too. We're just starting to come in here now with a few more lights again before we think about maybe doing some kind of verdigris thing on the armor. Still not quite sure about that yet. Don't have to be. We're trying another new paint here. We're trying new paint, new brushes, always trying new things all the time. I suppose that's the only absolute rule, is always to be trying new stuff. That is the one, that's the only rule, is constantly experiment, constantly try new things all the time. Oh, thanks, Jix. I appreciate that. We're going to be finishing off this guy here, because sometimes folks say, well, what happens when the oil paint dries? What do you do then? Well, this is one that's got dry oil paint on it, so we'll continue to paint him, and we'll just lighten some areas up. And then once he is also done, then we're going to hop into our Ossiarch over here. Now, what about, are there more? I'm just looking for these crazy little suckers right here. There's a bunch of them. It's like our eyeball / teeth monster. There's suckers everywhere, just like there was eyeballs and teeth all over that creature caster guy. And what was that? That was the queen of... No, was it the king of... No, it was the queen of... Malefica, right? No, we have the, well, we have the Queen of Onslaught. Okay, that's why I was getting mixed up on the names there. So we have to say, get us the Queen of Malefica. Here, let's get some darker purples in here once again. Now we got these nice and dark, but we're going to give them a little bit of a light, here, this bluish color here, some of our color from our water. We're going to bring some of that up here into his claws. So Sakaya, this was originally a resin, or no, it was a 3D print, because it was a what would you call him, a prototype figure. I do believe that now maybe that the Kickstarter has gone through and it'll be the production miniature is going to be your kind of prototypical plastic board piece or board gaming piece like this. So, you know, kind of that indestructible plastic sort of thing. This is definitely not. I didn't know the ins and outs of 3D printing at the time, so I didn't realize they sent me a bunch of 3D prints. If it had sent them again now, I would have known in a heartbeat, and I would have checked them for all the little divots, right, where the supports go, and I would have checked them for missing pieces, because I painted one whole. Okay, here's another one. Where'd you go? So we painted some of these up. These are also Stormsunder. We painted this on another stream right here. This was very interesting. But I do believe they're all going to be that kind of typical board game type miniature. I'm going to get some more of our purple into here too. Oh yeah. Why? Because I'm thinking, I got the water down here. That's why it's going to get into our little bit into our tentacle skin over there. Yeah, Sakai, they just sent me those, maybe last month or something like that. So you'll be seeing that one. Oh, actually, wait, that's right. They sent me 2 of these. And what we're going to do is paint one of these as Good Angel, and then paint another one as sort of more evil. So almost more colors like this. But then on the other one, that's the Good Angel, we might use some of our interference colors and our iridescent, and just kind of go crazy and see what we can do with it. Here, let's get. Oh yeah, you know what? Let's take our number 3 here. Let's load this up with a little bit of our turquoise, shall we? And do that. Look at this. We can put basically reflected light turquoise onto this reddish purple here. I'm really loving these. This is a number 3 round. Think of it as just like the number 8 round craft brushes, just smaller. Maybe not quite as cheap as the number 8 round craft brushes, but I mean, at basically 60 cents a piece, that's not too shabby. I'm liking this, the turquoise down in here. This is important. That's what it needed. Even for as not huge as this is, it needed some extra kick. Like, oh, right down here, see? Well, I don't know how much you can see of that. But we are going to get some blue in there. This is very fun. So this is really cool here to have basically a number 8 round that's about half the size. Now we'll try some of the other ones too. It goes all the way up to a 12. And I'll show you the box in just a second there. Maybe after we head to Moria. There, look what that's doing. Now, as we said, things like Balrogs, yeah, compared to what you're about to see, Balrog is like a little kitten. It's like a little tiny kitten. Fear, The mimes. The mimes of Moria. Yes, they are French. Yes, they are street mimes. Yes, they wear stripy shirts. They have makeup on their face. They have cheese wheels. They have baguettes. They have parasols. They have... Oh, they've got cheese wheels. Yes, they have... There's your baguette right there. There is Chef Garçon. And you have Charles de Gaulle there, the coach. You even have that's a little peek at the team stadium right there, that little fleur-de-lis in the center of the field. And of course the stars of the team, Francois and Pierre, at least they think they're the star of the team. Actually, everybody on the team thinks they are the star of the team. They disdain any of these things like blocking and tackling. They just they sip their Chablis and they smoke their cigarettes. And over here we have Poirot, the judge, and the pink wig over there. And we also have one of the assistant coaches, and we have, just a few of the fans. Now, there will be more pictures of the team that's going to be brought up here, but if you want to see even more, head on over to the blog. That's just wappeliusblogspot.com, and you'll be able to see more of the team and also see them in action. So, yes, go check that out. So that one, this is what we use for every single figure, whether it's oil or acrylic, right here. Boom, check that out. So your anti-shine, it's our favorite thing from Army Painter. We use it on acrylic figures, oil figures, terrain. I use it on everything. Yeah, what we used, remember we were using one of these on the creature caster demons. This was the number 12. So for sure, and we have some other big beasties from creature caster that we can do that with. Oh, sky's clear. That's good. Now, of course, we keep forgetting that we can get it from Army Painter, but I actually haven't priced it out to see if it's less on Amazon. Of course, Amazon has the free shipping, so now we're gonna do. Look at this. That number 3 round. Look at it. Look at that filbert shape. Check it out. What we're gonna do. A little bit of our turquoise on the underside, so to bring up some of our water right there. And a bit more here. Maybe even a little bit more on the bottom side of this. Let's maybe make it a bit lighter here. Let's get some of that turquoise into this blue. I'm going to have to put a little more of the cobalt blue out here. There we are. See how much of the purple it's picking up there? Sakaya, that's just a brush on right there. It's very much designed for brushing it on. And that's because, well, let's say something like this. Well, you could brush on 2 or 3 layers on the top of his head. Maybe a couple extra layers around the pointy things. But let's say something like this here. Well, you definitely will brush more layers onto this. But this, outside of maybe one little layer here, I also don't know if it's going to ruin your airbrush. Oh, yeah, so this, I think it should only be about $3 to $5 on the Army Painter website. I gotta get some more of this anyways, so I will check. There's some other Army Painter stuff that I need anyways for basing. They have some vines and some other things that I would like to try again, so there's some other Army Painter products that I might get. And that way I can price it out for it. But just to go to the Army Painter website maybe and see if it's cheaper there. Obviously they may not have the free shipping though. Oh, it's a 3 print, but with shipping, yeah, I didn't need 65. Okay, that's what I thought. Sky's clear. I use 4 polish and I do it to an airbrush. Yeah, definitely. Sky's clear. I'm not sorry, Bellin. I just brush this stuff on. Really just brush it on, and it's fan. Now you don't want to brush a lot of this on either. You don't want to brush a lot of it on. You want to just a little bit goes a long way, for sure. I'm just trying to get a little bit more of my blue under here. And for cleaning brushes, well, at least during the painting process, this is it right here. We're just taking our paper towel, and that is it. We don't want liquid all over this brush. Now, as far as your final clean on your brush, well, speaking of things that work for it, dried acrylic, also and oils with no vapor, non-hazardous. I absolutely love this stuff. Fantastic. It does a great job on your brushes. It is just, it's wonderful stuff. Absolutely love it. Let's get some more of our cadmium yellow in here. Aha, look at that. That's very nice. Oh, so Sib, you guys have another, was it you and Kathy, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, you're doing the next episode of your Gundam assembly there? I forgot to ask. Sky's clear. No, I just brush it on as is. Definitely, you don't want to thin it or mess around with it or anything like that. Just brush it on as is. And like I said, you don't want a whole ton of it. You don't want to slop that stuff on there because it will actually get a little bit glossy if you slop it on. So just less is more with the anti-shine, which is fantastic because then it lasts forever. You'd be surprised at how many miniatures you're going to be able to varnish with just that tiny little bit of that little tiny bottle. You'll be able to do a lot with that. Now we're going to go back over here to our cadmium scarlet, and let's do some lighter stuff on the end of these here tentacles. And there's your link to your brush cleaner and restorer. Let's do a little bit more of our lights here. Looks like, oh, that is all just one piece right there. Okay. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out what the heck is on this miniature, what some of these parts are. Oh, Sakai, there's a lot of miniatures as part of that Stormsunder. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of them. I wish they were going to send me a bunch more, and I don't know if they got busy with other things, but I was looking forward to doing a bunch of those on stream. Now maybe they will send some more. I got, like I said, I have a few more that I can still do. This is one of the larger ones. Some of them are pretty darn small. And I do have on the, I think on the YouTube channel, I have at least, oh yeah, I do have one other Stormsunder figure on the YouTube channel right now. I don't quite know where the miniature is. It's just kind of buried amongst all the other miniatures here. It's not one that I've actually thought about in a while, so they have a tendency to kind of get pushed back, shall we say. Now we're going to get some lighter stuff on just the top of that carapace right there. See that? Nice little pop right there. Thank you so much, Armor Wolf, for finding that. Hey, DiMarino, how are you doing? Painting cricks, use the Master's Cleaner Brush Restorer. Oh, I can use is that the 40% off coupon from Michael's there? So, DiMarino, we have, we have some interesting pictures on the page to show you now. But we also have Witch King. There he is. So Witch King, Melvin, and Oscar all together, all three of them. And there's going to be more pictures of these guys, but this is what I could throw together quickly. And there's also some other things in the chat rewards. Now we're going to go back over here. Yeah, let's go back over here to our light purple color. Let's see if I can get some Lights right on the edge of this. And a couple of these. Again, there's more carapace stuff. Or at least that's what I'm just kind of assuming that's what it is. Now, next question. Do we want to do that verdigris stuff? Oh, let's see. I'm painting some ancient German generals tonight. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. Now, are these Teutoburg Forest Germans right here? Because I'm going to have to sculpt me. If I can't find an Arminius miniature, I'm just going to have to sculpt myself one. Now, of course, I don't think I'm going to sculpt it like that the statue that's pointed towards Paris, which I do believe is bigger than the Statue of Liberty. But if I was going to do a Halloween costume, it would be Arminius. And I would have the torn banners of the 17th, 18th, and 19th legions hanging off of my belt. Because, you got to have trophies. Basically that same era. Of course, from Foundry. Boy, it's been so long since I've had any Foundry miniatures. Yeah, just got yeah, we're gonna toss just a little bit of this verdigris in here. See, it's a pin line wash there. Not absolutely everywhere here, but just in a couple of places. Oh, look at that. See how that just kind of gets down in all those crevices there, and taking some of the turquoise from above or below and bringing it up here. But I can only touch it there. I can just touch the brush there. I cannot be like that. Well, DeMarino, then you're going to definitely want some oils for that for sure. If you've only got 300 of them to paint, you might as well use the oils. Look at that. At some point, actually, there was a point where I was watching a lot of Hail Caesar battle reports. It was a father and son. Obviously, the son is much older now, but I was watching their battle reports, and those were pretty interesting. So who knows? Maybe one day we try some Hail Caesar. But what we're going to do first is keep going with our verdigris effect here, like so. Well, hopefully the oils are making it, well, at least more relaxing to, even if it's not faster. If it just makes it less, less busy, less stressful, that's all a win. We're gonna keep going with our, again, that until we find if maybe we don't like that and we change it. But for right now, I'm gonna stick with that verdigris stuff right there, because it's a nice break from all of these reds. Just gonna reds everywhere. Now I think we can bring this up a little bit further towards the head here. Oh yeah, I usually it's weird that the stupid thing, there's a whole bunch of stuff that it just, you can type, but the stuff we want to be able to type, we can't. It's just, it's the darndest thing. I don't understand. See some verdigris up here now. Definitely what we wanted to do. And we're going to definitely get some of the verdigris back. See that? Now, again, some more separation right there. That's handy. Now, we have some of our Gamlin Barite Green, also known as Berry White Green. That's going to serve as our Seafoam Green down here, because we got plenty of blue there. Now we're going to get some of our, I'll touch a green in there. I know it doesn't really show up quite so much on camera. Yeah, we're just using our 000 poor man's Series 7. Oh, let's get some of that up here too. Yeah. Sitting the one nice long brushstroke like that. Boom. I've been painting the horses all night. Yeah, the oils really, man, talk about making something chill and relaxing. Boy, the oils make painting those horses relaxing. How many of those Song of Ice and Fire horses have I painted? 5 units of 20 of those horses. Actually, there's still a couple of more to do yet. They're not part of any unit, they're just individuals. So yeah, there's still 2 more. Well, that's just a commission stuff. That's not mine. So there will be more. And then, oh, we got the Zorse Riders too. So those will be fun. It really, I guess because it lets you do just all of those really fun color changes, whereas the acrylics almost, it makes it really tough to do the horses that have, you know, some gray here, just something that's not the same old brown here and there everywhere. Now we'll get some, some turquoise in there. We're going to flip this around. More turquoise there, and then we'll try and reflect some more turquoise onto our red skin there. Hey, Raven Cat, how are you doing? So we're painting. First, we're doing a couple of Stormsunder figures. So there's this one here. This one is started from scratch. This one I'm going to be finishing it off because people really don't often get a chance to see one that's partially painted with oils and then see it finished off with oils. Once that one is done, done, then we're going to move on to Mr. Ossiarch over here. Oh, that brown matter. I tell you, DeMarino, there is something about that brown matter, and I haven't really figured it out yet, but that is a really special color. It does some amazing things. No, Raven Cat, you got the tougher job of the 2 of us. You have the tougher job. You are doing supports. That is a whole that is a job all by itself. Those supports. There we go. See, I'm getting popping a little bit of our turquoise in there, and that is the barite green mixed with a little bit of our phthalo green, because that phthalo's got some. That's got some serious blue in it, as you might expect. And we're just going to keep getting a little bit of our, oh, good grief. Let's go back to, well, we got this here. That's our wonderful number 3, not 000, but a number 3 round. This is our new little adventure here into the Royal and Langnickel brushes. Let me see. A Lefebvre Dissonette miniature. I'd like to have painted. Yeah, you can always, well, hit me on Insta or Facebook. Now, we'll look at that. Didn't take long to pick up all that other stuff underneath, so let's do this again. Doing it again here. Now, pun expected. It's and I just remember him back in the days of watercolor, so that's not a recent thing. That is something that's definitely been around for quite a while. It's just a weird name, just like now, of course, phthalo green and phthalo blue. It's because they're made from phthalocyanide. The matter, I don't know. I'd have to research why matter is in the name, but there's purple matter. I'm sure it has something to do with whatever's in the pigment, and I think actually someone did research that. I think someone researched that, and they put that in the chat as to what the name matter indicates. But I've long since forgotten that, unfortunately. Yeah, these things here from Dick Blick are really fun. There's 30 of them in here. 18 bucks, I do believe, was the price on this. So 6 sizes, 5 of each. See, Baron, actually probably, I don't know, were you the one that actually was able to research that and look that up? But I would just imagine any, like cobalt is, well, it's cobalt blue because it's made from cobalt, and cadmium color is made from cadmium. I'd have to, I'm sure some Google Fi would reveal that quite quickly. Now, you can tell, look at some of that nice reflecting color going on. Oh, wait a minute, we got a Drew in the house. Look at this. It's definitely a pigment of your imagination. So, folks, be sure to give Drew the follow because he's part of our late night crew. He's especially on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Be sure to check out Drew. Now, are you going to be I know you were experimenting with a different day or an additional day for streaming. Are you still experimenting with that? Let's see. Matter is from the rubia plants. There are some yellows and reddish brown ones for dyeing. Well, then that makes total sense because where's my... So there is purple matter. Let me see if I can track down the brown matter here. It could take me a little while, so give me a chance. Actually, I need some more of that cobalt blue, too. I might even need some cerulean. That's not it. That's not it. Nope, that's quinacridone magenta. There we go. So brown matter, purple matter. This, and you can see, you can kind of see the purple tinge there. This is almost it's almost like a shifting type of a color here because you think it's just brown. Oh yeah, there's a rose matter too. I think there's a bunch of different types. Who knows? Maybe at a certain point I snag some more of those colors too. Now we're gonna get some more of our little bit more of that seafoam color under here too, just to have it. There we go. See that? Nice little turn right there. When I can, I throw a weekend stream together, but just building the Silent King tonight. So I figured, yes, there we go. So we'll be playing around with some Stormsunder first here, and then we'll move on to another one of our wonderful Ossiarchs right here, and just have some fun with that. Now, I've got some Reaper figures. There's some other stuff. We've been playing with some new colors, new brushes, lots of new things. Always got to be doing the new things. Oh, gee whiz. We've got to get in here. Again, our barite green. Right in there. Now, look how it picks up what's already there. So we got to go back here. We got to get some more. And this is pretty dry here. Because if I hit this with the thinner, it's more inclined to just wipe away what's already here as opposed to actually tinting it or putting a color there. Because that's all I want to do is just tint that a little bit. I don't want to completely annihilate the whole idea that this is red here or some kind of deep red. I'm actually going to let a little bit of the turquoise work its way out to here as well. Just for fun. So there's our verdigris stuff that was going on down in the armor there. Let's see, so makers just decided to go from putting the pigment originally from the front light cobalt to the end. Let's see, spinning wool into yarn, picks flowers and roots to make dyes. So that is some true pigment knowledge there. We got ourselves a Warmonger, and it's a 6-month subscription, so that means it just goes splash right there into the cup. Thank you so much, Warmonger. Let me take a little sip of that, and we'll pause this. Thank you so much. Uh-oh. Warmonger's starting a Blitzkrieg. They're like, Blitzkrieg, yeah, there we go. Oh, he had a level 5 last night. Yeah, I forget what time it was. Maybe it was around this time. We had a level 5 hype train last night. So, oh, actually we got brown matter right here. So that's brown matter right there on the palette. Yeah, so that's some tough standard to live up to. That level 5 there. Yeah, I think it got shattered pretty fast too. I turned around and I thought, okay, we're at level 2, and I went, nope, you're at level 5. Oh, whoa, okay. That did not take long. Yep, the more bits in, the more dancing, baby. Yeah. And he's like, dude, you smell like fish. Oof. But they'll still dance together. They don't care. Hey, there's shots fired by Sarge. Yeah, he's not just gonna sit around for that. No way, baby. I say engage. And Armored Wolf fighting back with the tombstone, with the tombstone emoji. I don't know. I would take that kind of as a personal affront. I would say. I think some shots need to be fired back. Now we need to do the same thing like we did over here with the darker, well, brown matter. Believe it or not, we're actually using brown matter. We had it in our pre-glaze here too. You know, I need to get some more of that back here. So we'll continue. So this is that brown matter here. I mean, it is a fabulous color. It's not quite red. It's not quite brown. I think Spider-Man is back at it with the gift sub thing. Apparently that really zaps up a hype train fast. Yep, he's just gonna snag all those. I see we are at 88% of a level 2 with 4.5 minutes to go. Now, should I add more darks to the water? That's the next question. Should I add some more? Well, first thing I'm going to do is get some more cobalt blue out here. Yep, Spider-Man, he's kicking in the door here. He just Kool-Aid. Spider-Man just did the Kool-Aid Man. We might have to change his name to Kool-Aid Man, because he just Kool-Aid Man the room right here. Now what happens? Oh yeah. Look at that cobalt blue. Now cobalt blue is super translucent, like massively translucent. That's why we have to kind of use it this way here. And Warmonger fires back, as does Armored Wolf. So nope, that's ultramarine blue. So your cobalt blue right here. Now it shows it as a semi-translucent. Oh, just fire up. Spider-Man, Armored Wolf, firing back and forth. We're gonna grab ourselves a little color charty thing here. That's why we do these things. That is why we do these. Oh, fire for effect. I say for sure. There's your cobalt blue. So you can see kind of what a reddish blue that is. And
so say we all.
Let's see, who just got another gift sub there? Armored Wolf doing the gift sub still. So you can see just how transparent that is, but definitely more reddish. And there's your cerulean blue. That's got some green. That's why we might go in with some of that cerulean blue there. I do suggest making those little color chart things because they're not hard, and you find out a lot. I mean, you really find out a lot of stuff. So it looks like we are 19% to a level 3 hype train. And we're gonna now see what happened. We put the cobalt blue in there. Look what happens. How's about some of that cobalt over here? Wow, this is probably as much cobalt blue as I've used in a long time. This is really nifty. So thanks, folks. I really do appreciate all the bitses and the cheers. Because the reason why there's all these different colors to try, and well, actually all of the every single one of these sheets right here that I used for this was paid for by all of the donations and the bits and the cheering that goes on here. Now, thanks, Warmonger. And all the new stuff that we try to experiment with, I try to make sure that they as much of the donations and that sort of thing can secure new fun things, because we got to try new stuff all the time. Now, the question is, the end of this also has to be on the lighter side of things here. Now we're halfway to level 3. Now, we saw in that color chart, okay, here let's mix some cobalt blue with this white. Now, see how it kind of loses that? It doesn't look very juicy anymore. Now watch what I have. We'll paint them over here. That Warmonger firing back right there after some gift subs by Armored Wolf. That's also very reddish right there. That is really very reddish. Now, is that what we want? I don't know. We've been doing a lot with the seafoam green, but now we've got a couple of different colors. See that? Reddish blue versus the seafoam green. Now, Spider-Man doing the cheer thing. You know what's disappointing is that it should say for Gondor, but it doesn't say that. He's like, man, you are going to stink up the refrigerator. Looks like Warmonger and Spider-Man going back and forth. It's neck and neck here in the Blitzkrieg. We need to get some lighter stuff under here too. Oh my goodness, yes. Now, again, this is the cobalt blue, which means much more red in it. So we have the seafoam here, but I don't mind. You see the red here, because look what it's getting close to. It's getting close to that red. So we want those to be together there. So we got 1 minute 41 second at 55% to the level 3 hype train. What is going to happen in here? You know what? We're gonna do some more of that cobalt here. We can go lighter than this too. I mean, this is by no means the lightest we can go with it. But
so say we all.
Look at this. Works of Ent joins the fray, coming in there right at the end, and boom, poof, there we go. Level 3.
So say we all.
Hype train, level 3. Thank you so much, Works of Ent. They're putting us up over the top right there as time was starting to count down.
So say we all.
Works event is the hero. Now, okay, also too, we are going to have to get thicker paint. It's lighter. We're putting in more of that white here.
So say we all.
But this is also thicker. Now, let's see what happens. Is this going to stick? Oh, yes, it does. Yeah, so see how that's nice and bright there? That's what's missing in a lot of these areas.
So say we all.
So as all of Spider-Man's gift subs play out, that's what we're going to do, is we're going to get some lights into these areas. Now, I don't want to thin this down. Oh, Volfera, thank you so much. Here, let's get you a little bit of a... He's right there in the splash. He's like, I can get some of these. I can get some of these. You still smell like fish.
So say we all.
Yeah, sky's clear. We managed to get that train. The train is on the tracks, baby. Ah, see what that lighter stuff does right there? Look at that. Let's see. We're 11% to a level 5. I figured level 4 was going to be our level for this evening, but it looks like a level 5. Seems like a level 5 is in progress. Hey, Zipzap. How are you doing? So again, look at the difference that light made. Look at how it sets this stuff back. Look at that. See how that goes? Now here we don't really have that. Don't really have that. Let's keep going here, and we'll see. Can we do back to back Friday and Saturday level 5 hype trains? We're on the way. We're on the way. And this actually is still not pure white here. Sarge and Warmonger are going to go back and forth here just a bit. Oops. Okay, let's extend that down a little bit. There, look at this. You thought we were done down here, didn't you? You thought we were done, but we're just beginning. We're just getting ready to go here. Just like our hype train at 34%. Although those gift sub, Hazenda, thank you so much, Hazenda's. Boom. He's gonna grab some of that. He's gonna get some of them little bitses. Yes, thank you so much, everybody. That is appreciated at 34% with 2 minutes, 58 seconds left. And we will continue to add our lighter colors in here. Oh, yeah. See, up here, we need this. Because I'm liking what the lighter colors did down here. And Sarge pounding that pavement there. He fires right back with some more bitses there. Look at that. Yeah, I'm going to actually have to... oh, I know what I've got to do. I've got to have a picture of a train. Because I actually have painted, believe it or not, I have painted regular model trains. So we'll have to have a painted train or something like that that will show that picture when it comes time for the level 5. Let's say we got 2 minutes left, 35%. I think we still got a chance for that second level 5, but look at what the white does right there. Look at that.
So say we all.
And thank you so much. And folks, be sure to check out the Armored Wolf Etsy page and the Instagram page. And just look at all of the leather stuff there. It's more than just the dice bag. As much as we love the dice bags, there is more than just the dice bags. There's all kinds of fun. There's journal covers. Yeah, look at the difference this makes now. See how this gets dark by default? It's because of this. Because everything was the same value before, right? Everything was the same value before. But because we're starting to change up those values, and this still is not pure white.
So say we all.
As light as you think this is not straight up white. We have not actually used anything straight up white here yet. It looks that way, but it's not. We're at 94, 95%. Oh, there it is. There it is. It has been achieved. It has been achieved. Thank you so much. Look, it's an appropriately themed Halloween glass. It's specifically for this month, even though we've been using it every month. Oh, look at this. Flagger Dragon. Hey, V, how are you doing?
Say we all.
Spider-Man's still doing the gift set. Wow, we're actually at 102% of the level 5. I think our record was something like 164, somewhere in there. And Sarge bouncing right back there with the cheers. But what we want to do is, I just got, I got a level 4 hype train emote. Oh, okay, there's my emote. That's what they sent me. I haven't done that before. I've never chatted in my own chat before. I didn't know you could do that. Now we'll get some more. Well, this is the not white, I guess we'll say. Look at that! Look at that! Look at what that's doing. Now, so how you doing there, Flagger Dragon? I hope all is well. Let's do our little bit of a zoink here. So again, you don't see. Now you look at the value contrast here. So we've been talking about color contrast, all that kind of stuff, right? Now value contrast. That's that last little bit of the white. That also kind of makes it look a little bit like the foam. Yes. So thanks everybody for bringing out that level 5 hype train there. And then some. Wow, those are some cool emotes there. So hype punk. And of course, Belon is definitely declaring his allegiance to Mordor. Spider-Man is going to make some dinner. Well, we'll be here, Spider-Man. We will be here. We got tons more stuff to do. Nobody leaves until everything gets done. Nobody sleeps. Nobody rests until everything gets done here. And we'll do some more. But see, all of a sudden that red looks much deeper now. All of a sudden that doesn't look so bright. That was almost the same shade as this, but then what did we add? We've added this over here, and poof, huge, huge difference. Now, where did my other, there it is. Now, Warmonger is still getting up in there with those bitses. But folks, again, thank you so much, because it really does make a huge, huge difference. We wouldn't have stuff like the interference. Where's my interference blue? We wouldn't have stuff like this. The interference blue, the Gamblin silver that we used. Whoops, where is our Necron dude here? There he is. So that Gamblin silver, that's what, if you're wondering what all that stuff goes to, it goes to all of these experimental materials here. So I'm really looking forward to continuing. This is Series 21. And then, of course, our interference blue, which we are hopefully going to use on our other Ossiarch here tonight. So that's going to be very fun. Now back here. So you see we got all of this, lots of reds there together. Can I maybe sneak in a little bit of this bluish green color? I'm going to try and do that again. This is our new set of brushes here. Yeah, and it's just a tint. See, it's just a little tint of a greenish blue right there. That's all it is. It's just a little tint of that. You know what, though? I'm looking at this here. You know what we haven't done up there? Let's give this a shot here. Let's take some of our darker stuff. Let's take indigo, Egyptian violet. Let's do some little markings on this right here. Thanks again, Warmonger. I'm definitely grateful for all of the bitses and cheers. I didn't really know what impact that was going to have at first. The first time I ever saw any kind of hype train stuff, I think it was when Jan was doing his quest for partner, and all of a sudden his screen just lit up and went bonkers like that, and I had no idea what the heck was going on. I kind of knew what subs were, but I had no idea what cheering and bits were. See, now that the dots get a little bit smaller here. And the oils really help for making these little tiny dots here. So Sarge, does it look, I know you were talking about all the interruptions. You had all that stuff prepped and ready to paint, and then sort of life and things stepped in the way. Are you starting to see a path towards just a time when you'll be able to get back to your painting and have some fun with your painting again? I hope that's maybe sooner than the last estimate that you gave us. So now we're going to start cleaning some of these things up here. Look at this. We got Crocodile in the house. How are you doing? Now, thanks, Warmonger. It is kind of, well, it is kind of wild, having all the hype train stuff. I didn't realize what it was at first. And I just thought, okay, I thought it was like a revolt in the chat or something like that. And then I kind of realized what it was. Oh, wow, that's really nifty. Now we're adding some darks up here again. Some more darks up here too. There we go. So Crocodile, I hope things are going good. You know, we'll darken down around this eye here with Phthalo green. So phthalo green. I mean, it's dark. Yes, it's translucent, but guess what? It can actually cover. You can actually make phthalo green cover things, like a lot. You just can't use it like you're just going to say, like Dark Angel's green and paint it over something. That's not going to work so well. But it can be used to cover things, believe it or not. Oh, Jax has to run. Thanks again. Now, be sure to just kind of catch the either the highlight or the VOD of this so that you can kind of see how these guys turned out here. And hopefully something that you can maybe kind of take into your own painting too. You never know what kind of crazy little tidbit can work sometimes. I know for me, there's times I'll either see something that someone else is doing and say, oh, maybe that's something I can adapt to what I'm doing. Or there's something that they're using, some material, whatever. Now let's see. Sarge was trying new brushes, doing an experiment with an Imperial Fist Captain, hoping this will get those juices flowing again. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be definitely a challenge when you get that kind of interruption there, and then you're trying to kind of get back into the swing of things. And sometimes there's certain miniatures that can get you back into that swing, and sometimes there's miniatures that just don't quite have the pizzazz to just catch that and get that mojo back, like you're saying. And then there's ones like this. I did not think this was going to be terribly fun to paint, and it's actually been way more enjoyable than I expected. Which, hey, I mean, that's... I'm not going to complain. As we take some of our cobalt blue and phthalo green and mix that together to maybe get some lighter stuff down here on this little tentacle thing. Now, you saw I was using a stipple type brush stroke there. Crocdor says they're going all right. Besides for me not having hot water in the apartment right now, that doesn't sound like a whole bunch of fun. And you can't do what I used to do at our shop at the Renaissance Fair when I just boiled, or I just heated up water over an open fire and used a 4.5-gallon camp shower to take actually nice warm showers. I gotta say, they were warm showers. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that they frown on the whole open flame thing. Although that could be, you know what, in a pinch, if you don't have hot water, you heat it up on the stove. All you'd have to do is heat one, I don't know, like a saucepan or something like that, like a 5-quart saucepan. You heat up that water, you pour that into your 4.5-gallon camp shower. It's just a bag that hangs from wherever. Man, do I still have that thing? I might still have that thing somewhere. So, hey, survival gear, survival tip 101. Boil water on the stove and have a 4.5, well, I don't know if they come bigger than, I don't think you'd want something bigger than 4.5 gallons. That might be a little heavy. That would probably tear off a shower bar, I'm thinking, or a shower curtain bar. So now I'm starting to get some lighter reds up in here, along the same line as what was over here. Not too bright. Now, the base of this is pretty much fanchon red. There is a smidge of that cadmium scarlet that's in here as well. And again, what we are using right here is one of those poor man's Winsor Newton Series 7. Well, it's not a Winsor Newton. It's a poor man's Series 7. We'll just call it that.